Hey guys, I'm in Kuwait. I'm training a company called Coolex, which is an industrial refrigeration company, one of the biggest companies in Kuwait. And I'm training a bunch of people, and we were talking about successful people, how they wake up early, they stay up late, and they spend a lot of time working on their craft alone. And so one of these guys was like, "Isn't that sad?" One of the people in the training room was like, "But that's a sad life, being lonely and in the dark." And I'm like, No, it's not. It looks sad, but it's not really a dark life. It's not a sad life. I know it seems that way, but then I realized that most of the people out there don't want to be alone. They don't want to be in the dark. But I can tell you this, the most I've learned is when I failed, when I was alone, when I was in the dark, when I've hit rock bottom. That's where the growth happens. Because when you're succeeding, you celebrate, but when you fail, that's where you start thinking. That's where you reevaluate everything. That's where you go back to the drawing board and you start to reconsider everything that you're doing, and you actually work harder if you choose to accept it as a challenge. Some people, they just give up. But loneliness, if you choose to accept it, I mean, if you can't be alone with yourself, that's a problem. Because you're going to bring yourself wherever you go, even if it's with people. If you can't be with yourself alone, then you don't love yourself. But loneliness, if you don't distract yourself and you don't go on Facebook and you don't watch series, and if you choose to accept it, you start working on yourself, you start to embrace yourself, you start to know what you love, what's good for you, what's not good for you. You stop conforming, you stop doing things to satisfy people, and you start doing things to satisfy yourself. So it really strengthens your character, and it builds your character from within. So loneliness is a good thing. And darkness, whether it's going, working in the dark, real darkness without the light. There's no light outside because, successful people, they work in the dark. They put in the work when everyone's sleeping. Or you're going through a dark phase in your life. Listen, if you're going through a dark phase, that's good. That's good. Because things don't happen to you, things happen for you. Every time that I've gone through a very dark phase in my life, I chose to say, what is trying to emerge? What greatness is trying to emerge within me? I didn't get the answer right away, but if I asked myself that question for days, I would get it. And you realize that in the darkest phases of your life, that's where your true strength unfolds. That's when you access or tap into another tank of motivation and resources that you never knew existed. So when you think about, let's say, Superman, Batman, these characters embrace their dark side, and they learn to really appreciate it. They learn to sit still with their fears, and they conquered their fears because of that. So embrace your loneliness and embrace the dark side, because it's going to make you the most unlimited version of yourself.